Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in to part 2 of the 4th Winter 2021-2022 update from GavsWeatherVids. So here we go, time to bring you another winter update, or second part of winter update. And this week we're going outside of the box with a presentation from our good friend Richard. Richard Traut has come up with a outside of the box special for us. And so that's what we're going to do for this one, and it means that I kind of get the night off, really, but I have got to present it, but, you know, I don't have to do too much work with this one, so I'm always, I'm always very pleased when Richard does an outside-of-the-box special for me, because it means that I have a nice, relaxing evening. And I shall get on that for you in a sec. Thank you so much to Richard for the presentation that you're going to see any moment. To say that part 1 of this 4th Winter 2021-2022 update was released yesterday on Sunday, so you have not yet seen part 1 yet. It's talking about things like sea surface temperature anomalies, solar activity, Eurasian snow cover, etc, etc, etc. If you've not seen that yet, then do check out part 1 of the 4th Winter 21-22 update. You can find it on the YouTube homepage in the Winter Updates playlist, so have a look at that and see what you think. Right, so just say also that, of course, we released a 10 to 14 day earlier on today, so check that out again if you have not yet seen it. Right, so thank you so much to Richard for the GIF, of course. Thank you so much to Rich for this year's Winter Updates GIF. Love the GIF. Thank you so much, Rich, for that. And without further ado, shall we crack on with the Outside of the Box special? I think we will. So let's just turn off the webcam then, and we'll go over to Richard's presentation. So here it is. I'm just going to be the narrator for this. Really. Thank you, Rich. So here we go. Richard's Outside the Box special. Out of the Box Winter Special 21-22. Rare but worth it. Or should I say rare but worth it. Created by Richard Traut for GavsWeatherVids 2021. Right, so let's do this then, shall we? Introduction. Research. Hi everyone, welcome to the winter edition. This is all from Richard, so Richard is speaking to you through me. Okay, so hi everyone, welcome to the winter edition of the Out of the Box special 2021-2022 here at GavsWeatherVids. Always remember to like, share, subscribe, tell your friends, mother, sister, brother, family, doctor, dentist, fireman, plumber, vicar, and the whole world to subscribe to the channel. Lol. You can even tell your mother-in-law to subscribe if you have one. And you dare, you can tell your mother-in-law to subscribe. Thank you so much, everyone. We're looking at rare events for this one. It's all about April's had a colder than Marches since 1850. It's not very often that we experience an April with a colder central temperature CT than a March previous to it. Let's have a quick look at that, shall we? So this is the CT page at the UK Met. So we see that March 2021 came in with a central temperature of 7.2. It was 1.5 degrees above 61 to 1990 average. April was quite significantly colder, nearly a degree colder at 6.4. Which was an anomaly of 1.5 degrees below average, and was the coldest April since 1986, of course. So that's how March and April look. Right, back to the presentation. Richard says, what I thought I would do is look at these past events plus solar activity in the past. But not only that, but how rare these events are. On the next page, you will learn they are rare. How many years since 1850? So I started with 1850 in mind, but I really only wanted to look at 1900 onwards, as with the climate in its current warming phase. Ironically, what amazed me was that only 10, 11 with this year times has this happened. April being colder than the March before it in the last 171 years. Wow, or just 6.43%. Very low. You will agree, I'm sure. So which years did they occur? Let's have a look, let's have a look, let's have a look, let's have a look. Right, these are our key years where April is colder than the March before. We've got 1903, scores on the doors, Miss Ford. 1936, we've got 1938, we've got 1957, we've got 1978. Ooh, dum dum dum. And then we've got 1981 as well. Ooh. We've got 1989. Boo. We've got 1990. Yay. We've got 1998. Boo. We've got 2012. Yay. And of course we've got 2021. I wonder. So there are years, 1903, 1936, 1938, 1957, 1978, 1981, 1989, 1990, 1998, 2012, and then of course the recent year, 2021, but we do not know what sort of winter we will get after that, April, colder than March duo. Rich says, notice they're all from 1900 onwards. So that amazed me that all of the years were actually from 1900. The one previous was way back in 1809, which we couldn't look at even if we wanted to, because we don't have reanalysis go back that far. So I looked at all of the winters following. If we start with all Decembers from 1903 to 1912 on the analogues first, then look at all Januaries, all Februaries, etc, etc, etc. Gav will give you his thoughts on each of these. I will do that. Right, so shall we start looking at some data then? So this is how all Decembers combined are looking from 1903 to 2012. Following April, colder than the March before it. Looks very unsettled, this, actually. It does have a little bit of a blocking ceiling. You see some above average heights within the high latitudes, but relatively weak area of high pressure, really. Deep trough of low is across Western Europe, so looking very, very wet in the North Atlantic and into western parts of Europe there. And the UK, of course, is right in the middle of that, right engulfing in the centre of that trough low pressure. So a very wet signal to start us off for these December. So that's going to include 1903, 1926, 1938, 1957, 1978, 1981, 1989, 1990, 1998, and 2012. So very wet signal to start us off for all Decembers combined. This is how all Januaries combined are looking. Again, we're following the April, colder than March combination. So the northern blocking signal does strengthen to some degree within the high latitudes from Scandinavia up towards the Arctic. But the low pressure, the trough low pressure, is still there from the Atlantic into West Europe. So again, this looks very unsettled. For these Januaries, very wet. Because there's a northern blocking signal, there is cold potential, but a low risk cold potential. Really. Obviously, we've got 1979 in there, which is the last time we had a sub-zero CT for January. So there is a very, very, very cold January within that. There's also a very, very cold December within that as well. Don't forget, January 1982 was pretty cold and snowy as well. So there are cold and snowy Januaries in there, and that's indicative of this blocking area of high pressure that we do have to the north that's lurking there. But on average, on balance, it tends to be more of a signal for westerlies, ample zonality, and for milder, wetter weather, really, I think. And then this all Februaries combined are looking, when we follow that April colder than March duality. So this all Februaries combined from 1904 to 2013. And again, it is Atlantic driven. So all three of the winter months tend to be Atlantic driven, low pressure in of the Atlantic, winds in from the west as well. But bear in mind, that is just like an anomaly of all of the years. There are years here that are deviating. So we've got 1991 in the pack. That was a very cold and snowy February. Of course it was. 2013 was pretty cold as well. 1979 was pretty cold in February also. It wasn't as cold as January before, but it was a continuation of what was a very cold winter. And although it's reduced, we do still see some above average heights to the north of Scandinavia that in some of these years will be bringing easterly winds. So it's an interesting set of analogues, this. Really, with overall signal for Atlantic westerlies, mild wet weather, but, you know, a significant minority of the years are much, much colder within this. This is how all winters combined are looking following that April cold and March duality, twosome, if you like. So this is all winters from 1903-04 to 2012-2013. Obviously, overall, it is a wet signal with low pressure below average heights from the Atlantic into western parts of Europe. Above average heights are to our northeast. Winds are in from a westerly direction. And so, yeah, you know, it's a mild signal overall, but several winters are deviating from that, particularly 78, 79 is noteworthy, 81, 82 also. And also 2012, 2013 as well is a colder winter, especially later on. Right, so that's the general, you know, reanalysis based on the twosome, April colder than March, but we can do a little bit more for you than that. So Richard continues. Next closest era / solar matches. Right, so next we will look at the matches closest to our climate era pre-1950. That leaves us with 4, as some solar activity is past 40 months into the new solar cycle, so were eliminated. I won't go into too much detail, so just the months and years on the next screen keeps things simple. Thank you so much, Rich, for keeping things simple. You know that my brain isn't quite up to it, don't you, Rich? I need it kept simple. Gav needs it kept simple. Thank you, Rich. But these are ones closest to our current climate as outlined. So you know, these are the same years for the twosome for March and April, but closer matches for the solar cycle as well. So here we go. We've narrowed things down a lot more now, and this is how all Decembers combined are looking for these years in terms of solar activity. So we've got with this we've got December 8, 1978. We've got December 1989, I think, 1998, and 2012. This is how all Decembers combined look from those 4 years. And you'll notice what is apparent, you know, straight off the bat, is that actually the blocking signal is strengthened for these Decembers. We do get some pretty high pressure appearing over Greenland now. It's not enough to push the jet stream and the trough of low pressure southwards. So overall, this is still like an Atlantic-driven, relatively mild signal for these Decembers. You can see that, again, the low pressure is coming in off the Atlantic quite clearly. It is, but it is interesting how the heights are rising towards Greenland with these 4 years. What does that do for us when we get into January? Well, look at that. This is how all January is combined, looking in terms of the solar matches with the with the twosome March and April colder than March. Notice how much stronger the northern blocking gets to our north. So very, very, very strong area of high pressure appears right over top of the Arctic now. Genuine proper northern blocking with that, and so the trough of low pressure then becomes centered over top of the country. There is definite cold potential in with that. We've basically got like a 50-50 split there. So we've got January 1979, which is a freezing cold January. The last time had a sub-zero January CT was in 1979. And then we've also got 2013, which is a pretty cold and snowy January. On the other side of the coin, we've got 1990, which is a very mild, westerly, wet and windy January. And we've got 1999, which is a pretty mild January as well, but did have some cold snaps. So almost, it's almost 50-50. It's on a knife edge between cold and potentially very cold, severely cold, and milder Atlantic driven. But it's a very, very interesting set of analogues. It's especially so that January chart. The blocking sort of fades out a little bit for all Februaries in terms of the solo matches with the April, Carnival, and March twosome. So this is how all Februaries combined are looking. So this is February 1979, February 1990, February 1999, and February 2013. Overall, it is still a cold thing, probably the coldest month overall, actually, even though the northern blocking kind of fades away and goes more over towards the Pacific. The above average height sort of, or the below average height, I should say, below pressure, kind of weakens. And although there is like a weak reach down towards Spain, actually we're probably setting a jet stream on a northwest-southeast alignment here and cutting off the westerly flow quite a bit. So, you know, in terms of a cold signal for the 3 winter months, actually February with these 4 probably has the greatest cold potential. But again, keep in mind, it is like a 50-50 split. So we've got February 1979, which, of course, is going to be very cold. Not as cold as January before it, but it is a very cold and wintry month. We've got February 2013, which, again, has regular cold and snowy outbreaks. And then we've got 1990, which is a very mild and wet February, again, in what is an exceptionally mild winter. And we've got 1999, which is generally quite a mild February, although it does contain some cold snaps. So this is like a 50-50, really, this outside of the box this year. You know, 50-50 between cold and mild winters. Finally, all those pre-1950 winters that qualified. So here we go. These are them. We've got 1979, we've got 1990, we've got 1999, and we've got 2013. And overall, yes, it's Atlantic-driven and wet signal for these all winters combined with low pressure in off the Atlantic. There is a blocking signal that's up to our north, but it's relatively weakened and reduced, you know. But again, do bear in mind, it's like 50-50 for these winters. We've got 2 that are cold, one of these severely cold, one which is generally quite a cool winter. And then we've got 2 that are mild, 1 exceptionally mild, 1, you know, just standard mild with some cold snaps. So very, very, very interesting set of analogues, leaving it all poised and very much on a knife edge, I think. Right, so in summary, Richard says, well, I hope you all enjoyed that. There are some mixed years in there and some interesting ones too, with UK having one of the most diverse weather patterns in the world. Remember, nothing is set in stone. That is true, Rich. Remember, 2012-2013 winter lasted well into March. It certainly did. It got, you know, the severest part of that winter was in the second half of March. Absolutely crazy winter, unbelievable. Enjoy the rest of Gav's updates from now until the finale. A lot goes into these videos, as you'll know. Thank you so much, Rich. Some images of the most recent winter of 2012-2013 on the next page. Thank you and keep smiling, Richard. Thank you so much, Rich. Thank you so much, Richard Traut, for the presentation. If everyone say thank you to Rich, you know, for the presentation, that would be absolutely fantastic. You know, I love this because I get to have a night off. Really, while I'm doing winter updates, all I have to do is present the data and the research, and Richard does this one. Rich. So I hope I've done it okay, Rich. I hope I've done your work okay for you, and I've done it justice. Thank you so much, my friend. Right, these are some of the images that Rich has got from 2012-13. What a winter that was, wasn't it? Absolutely frozen some of the time, and deep snow cover as well. You know, up there in northeast England, Guysborough, I think that is, on the way home from work in February 2013. Thank you so much, Rich. Thank you so much, my friend, for going outside of the box for us. I just hope that I've done you proud and done it okay for you, my friend. Thank you so much. Thank you so much to Richard. Right, should we just go back to the GIF? There we go. Thank you so much, Richard, for GIF as well. Okay, so that is your 4th Winter 2021-2022 update in 2 parts. That's part 1 and part 2 complete. We now roll on. We're going to rule on. I'm so sorry, buddy. We're going to rule on. We're going to roll on to the 5th winter update. Again, it'll be in 2 parts. Part 1 next Sunday, part 2 will be next Monday. And yeah, we're cracking on. We're cracking on. It's not been all that long before we're halfway through our winter updates. Can you believe that? But we've got a long way to go yet still. And next week, I think we're going to, in part 2 anyway, next week we're going to start bringing you some September data. I think there's a lot of interest about what's happened with the weather during this September. So we will begin to present some September data for you next week. Definitely we will. And of course, you're going to find out at the very start of the 5th Winter 2021-2022 update part 1 on Sunday. You will find out how this 4th update has affected the swingometer. So Richard will be beavering away on that as we speak. I'm sure he will. And you're going to see, will we have a swing to mild? Will we have a swing to cold? Or will there be no change? That'll be the first thing we'll look at the beginning of the 5th winter update, and you'll see what's happened after 4 updates, where the swingometer is favouring things in terms of a cold or a mild winter. Right, okay, so that's it then. I hope you enjoyed this 4th update in 2 parts, and particularly the outside of the box presentation from my fantastic and lovely friend Richard. And at 20 minutes, that's all for now, and thanks for watching. Bye for now.